Live Friday night, FSBRacing.com, Winston Cup 88, Darlington night. All the studs are here tonight. Uh, this is Mel Bender Jr. with, of course, the voice of FSB Racing, Greg Bernardo. What's up, man?
What's up, Milty? What's up, everyone? Another Friday night extravaganza, Milty. The lady in black is waiting, and a huge field shows up. You know, Darlington is always the one you circle on the calendar, Milty. For me, in the lower FSB division, that maybe you'll only get 10 or 12 guys showing up because they don't want to take it on, and you can steal maybe a good finish, but not so in this race.
Oh, you got to finish first to finish first.
Yeah,
As the great Roger Penske
absolutely.
said. And this track wears you down. It wears your car down. Every lap is a little bit slower than the one before. How do you manage that? When you come out of turn four, you're on the verge of spinning the tires and losing it every lap. And as we're watching the 91 do just that, uh, and going to pit road there, maybe he planned that. Oh, Kerstetter, uh, and well, the '07 Ken Soska, they're trying to get pit road there, but that'll make your sticker picker right there.
Yeah, this is maybe one of the most difficult tracks in the game, Milty, no matter what version. This is a very nice version, I might add. It's fair. It gives you a line to run. Uh, we'll see various things. Guys might run that low line in 1 and 2, Milty, like right down on that uh, dashed white line, and then in 3 and 4, of course, the infamous Darlington stripe, Milty, because you got to run right up against that wall. And man, no margin for error here at Darlington.
Okay, we got a private message from Isaac. He'd like to race and broadcast. I'm going to step away for a minute and talk with the young man real quick here and see if we can drag him up here. And that's fine with us. So carry on, sir.
All right, and we're watching Happy Hour wind down here, and these guys and gals. Good to see Nicole Johnson out there in the 5 car. Uh, there she is. Um, this is a track that you can't get enough practice at. You see her coming out of 2 there down the back stretch, or excuse me, coming out of 4. And 1 and 2 is the one you see some low line there as you see her right down by that white dashed line, then up against the wall down the back stretch. And then in 3 and 4, uh, you'll see a lot of drivers getting up high into that where that dark is, even getting the left side tires up there, and just inches from the wall is the fast way around Darlington. So you gotta have a little guts to get that fast lap here. And we see that it has wound down. And we're going to get
Just like I
ready to
told these
start
boys
this
in the
race.
meeting, we
Our
don't need
pole
anything over
sitter,
the top today. We got a
25
good race car,
car,
we got a good driver, we got a good pit crew. All we got
excuse
to
me,
do
the
is
52
everybody carry
car,
the weight. We'll be just fine at the end of this thing.
excuse me,
And
28
fourth.
car is on the pole. I'll get
Now,
it right.
bud.
Yeah.
One,
Well, we're
one of
jumping in
those
here
letters.
last minute. Um, we're going to try to drag Isaac and his dad Ryan up through the course of the race here if we get a chance under caution or get some in-car reporting during the race. Pretty jovial there
Yeah,
in
great field,
the Tour
Milty here.
Dog Field team channel there. But it's all business now as we get down to the nice field here.
Y'all come say it with me.
you got to expect a lot of cautions here, dude. So what are our picks here? Let's take a look at this field here.
Yeah, well, there's the 28 car, Ed Kerstetter, Mildy, always has to be a favorite. 99 of Pops Martinson is a darling, Milty, you know more than anyone. Pops can get around Darlington. If he wins here, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And the second row is just as stout with possible in-car driver and reporter, the 34 car, Isaac Johnson. And right next to him, Mark DeSenza in the 6 car. And I'm going to go with the 6 car, Milty. So take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 42 of Gary Piccolo. I'd love to go with Isaac there, but and that's probably the smart choice. But Gary's got a huge resume and lots of backup from as he's come in. Looking in the forums here, he's well respected in the sim racing community.
Yeah, and he's say a newcomer to FSB, certainly not.
No, he's a pro sim racer.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely.
And his
I like Skiji in the 91
yeah.
there. As we go green,
green, and
Ken Shea is a stud.
Yeah, and when he shows up, he's showing up to win, Milty. He's not showing up for points. He's showing up for one thing, and that's to be in victory circle at the end of the race, and that's it. And we're underway here.
Oh, this is Darlington.
Yeah, we hope they can sort it out. You can't really do too wide here, Milty.
Wow, oh boy, they're taking the 060 Dean Gotro. Take a look at Ken Shea. There's some contact there. No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
Just a little bump
see
there.
The field stream. Oh, and the 23 car with a hard hit, Milty. Way more than a Darlington stripe there for the 23 car, Jim Scharf. Mike Pruitt, I think.
Esconer off the pace there, letting Ken Saska. We got a lot of winners here last couple of weeks in various series, and Saska is one of them. But Esconer's laying back, letting Mark Dillon Jr. go by, and just trying to get a feel of it. That's probably what I would do if I was going to run this race.
Yeah, and then we see back to the front, we got the 28 car still in the lead, the 6 car, Mark DeSenza right behind him, 99 Pops, and Ken Ron making a move to the inside of Pops, and this is very difficult. We see Ken get onto the apron just a bit there, Milty, and boy, it's treacherous to pass at Darlington.
Pops is just balls out of the gate. Yeah, he's very good. Let's see how he does in the long run
battle here. This has got to be a give and take so early in this race, Milty, at Darlington. You can't push the issue in the first 10 laps.
Well, Kerstetter on point. What can you say? We just seen this top 5 starts every single time this guy starts a race. He qualifies in the top 5, so he's comfortable with that.
I think I'm comfortable saying he qualifies in the top 3. Almost.
There you go.
And he's very comfortable leading laps. And some guys aren't. Some people aren't comfortable leading laps. They'd be more comfortable just running right behind the leader. And,
that would probably be me in this era of the great skill sets of these drivers. You have to adjust your mojo to where what you think you do, but that 6 car's mojo is all over his.
And there's a little contact there between the 303 and 99. Ken Ron does get by Pops. But Pops did not give up that spot, Milty. And Ken Ron goes up high, and there's contact, and now there's a big one, Milty.
Oh, and Isaac's caught up in that.
And, that Milty, I think it just goes back to what we were saying maybe 2 laps before that, really time to push the envelope here? And that's
Well,
unfortunately
and
the result
as a
when you
yep.
push the envelope and you push too far.
Yeah, as a driver in this league, I know what Pops is gonna do, and the 99 is gonna race hard, and he's gonna defend. So 7 laps in, probably don't want to make a move on him yet here because if you start to catch him, if you catch a guy in front of you and he defends, you just got to be a little patient and.
And I'm sure we're going to see wholesale pit stops. It looks like the 9 car Ken Hansen
No, this is
going
a
to
cheese
steal a
grinder.
lap here.
Everybody's going
And
in here.
that's a good move by Ken Hansen to get a lap early, Milty. Get that bonus point.
Yeah, he's racing for a championship here, and he know what to do.
And we see Ed leading to the
Biggest,
big field.
longest.
We'll have to take a look
Wow.
back. We'll watch the pit stop, and then we'll go back to that incident, Milty, and see who all
Wow,
was
look at all those
involved.
cars going there.
Yeah, and we see Ed, Pops, and Mark DeCenza, 1, 2, 3.
Isaac's pretty beat up
Yeah,
there.
Isaac limping into pit lane, and there's I'm sure the beat up car, Ken Ron as well. Um,
You have the right to defend as the cars come out here. You gotta play it in as it is.
There's the 25 car, Milty, of Craig Meyer, another new to FSB driver, but certainly another.
Yeah, he won last week's race. We broadcast as you were out on assignment, and which Jim Ray did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Of course,
oh yeah.
we appreciate totally what you do, and
Jim Ray is
it's great.
Jim will always be the real voice of FSB, Milty, as you know. He's been wanting to do these type of broadcasts almost since day one the league started. So this is all
Absolutely, he put the work in, and days and nights of okay, does this work? No. Okay, I was the test dummy, as we have other cars pitting. I'm not sure if they're lapped down, but this is Darlington.
Milty, why we have the lights on? Let's take a look back with Isaac at that incident and see what came of that there. Um, the battle between Pops and Ken Ron was very intense, and there was contact, and Ken Ron was able to finally get around Pops, and it looked like Ken just got in way too hot and came right down, contact with Pops, and back and forth again, and right into Isaac, who had nowhere to go. Looked like everyone else miraculously.
Oh well, yeah. Ken got up in the marbles there.
Yeah.
He overdrove turn 3 and pretty much wiped them guys out there. It was a clean pass with Pops. Totally. Now I'm looking at it second time here. Definitely made the pass. Just got up. When you get up in the marbles, that wall just, as you know, Greg, grabs you and sucks you in. And,
oh yeah.
And then he got loose and came back down.
And then it was
obviously not what Ken wanted to do.
Not that Isaac would want to hear this, but remarkably, besides Ken Ron there, only Isaac seemed to be caught up in that incident, and that could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
Like
you can survive a little damage here and run well, because there's going to be carnage here. This is Darlington. This is,
you can't hurt the car so much, Milty, that when you're getting into the turn, it's going to be all over the place. So
yeah.
So you got to be careful there. Darlington stripe is one thing, but
Darlington
planting it into
slam,
the wall, that ain't gonna work, Milty. And it looks like as we have the lights off on the pace car, the 42 car is gonna lead them down, Milty.
42 Scott Schroyer
That's Gary.
has a. Oh, okay. Hold on here.
42.
This Gary Piccolo, yeah, that's my pick, dadgummit. And he comes with a heck of a resume here, as a lot of these new guys, which is great to see these guys from these other leagues. There's many pro sim racing leagues. If you take for example the NRT 500 last year, there was 30 leagues that were involved. To believe there's that many racing still out there, and they had qualifying races, and our Matt Watkins, who also races at several other leagues, but we call him ours, and he is the greatest driver, in my opinion, that is raced in FSB, and very close with Damien Gottstilla and Kevin Lewis, obviously, but
We're getting ready to go back here, Milty. And yeah,
he almost won that sucker, but
almost.
these guys were all in this, all in that together.
Yes, they were. Green flag is back out. And Gary's going to lead them down. Ed is in second. Descends at third.
Well, you got Gary, and then you got
Gary, I believe Gary may have done a two-tire stop there, Milty, if you want to look back on it. He did get out ahead of the leaders there. And unless he just had a hell of a pit crew, which, he can bring with him, Milty. He might have top-notch crew here. But now Ed making a move immediately and gets help from Mark on the inside. And it looks like Ed will take the lead.
Wow, that's the classic pass. Oh, and 42 gets loose.
Oh, he saves
it. And he saves it again.
Oh man!
Yo, su madre there. That was. And he's off pace here, but he's letting the other drivers by.
Yeah, let's see if he just gathering it up.
Come on, son, get it going there.
Wow, what a save though, Milty. And the caution is out.
That's typical Darlington.
Caution is out, so maybe a little break there for Gary. But and the 303 car spinning into the pits, Milty.
We got signals, and 98 is pitting, so we need to take a look back and see what happened here.
Yeah, car's just taking a caution still, so cars are still at speed. Pace car is out now. Field is now getting slowed down. I don't know what happened there, Milty, but saw the 303 car, Ken Ron, coming down pit lane and spinning, but caution seemed to be already out when that happened. Looking at the running order, Ed is now in the lead, lap 14 of 147, so still a heck of a long way to go here at Darlington. Second caution. Pace car now catching the field. That's a quick caution, so now strategy starts playing out, Milty. When you get a rash of caution, some guys will start pitting, taking 2, taking 4. Some guys will stay out. And you can see Ed and Mark DeSenza stayed out. 25 car coming in. Guy Petra's in the 151. Seems like the bulk of the field stayed out.
Taking a look at it back there. Isaac goes down low. Not sure what happened to the 303 there.
And then we get a good look at pit lane.
And the 303 gets in the 45. That's where the wreck started there. Ken Ron with some damage gets into the 45 car.
That might be 2 for Ken Ron, Milty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's a quick 2 for Ken Ron, and we see that the
Scott Schroyer is out, I think,
yeah
too.
we see some carnage already with
Okay,
4 cars already
yeah,
out of the
let's go back
race.
to the 45 here. Looks like Isaac goes down low and gets out the way, and then Ken Ron is behind the 45 and just comes up in him there. It looks like that's right at turn 1 there, which is that pinch. The worst pinch point at Darlington is turn 1, and you got to pass before or after that point. Tough luck for Scott Schroyer, and he is done. We'll have to see what Kevin Ron is going to do here, as far as he is in pit road here. If he's going to count those 2 and what the admins are going to do, and he is gone. So.
Oh yeah, and the 303, yeah.
So that's a good move, you know. I obviously realized two inks on me, I'm done.
Yeah.
So that per FSB rules here.
Wow, yeah.
I'm sure he didn't want to do that, but
I, God, man.
that's Darlington.
Yeah, I'll chalk it up to Darlington, Milty. That was
You got to back off there.
seemed to be quite
Easy
avoidable,
to say.
and I'm not in the driver's seat, so yeah,
Mhm.
the 6245 060, it looked like the 060 Dean also was caught up in that and saw his car smoking as it left the incident area, so he might have had a sour motor there. And 303 was also out. 18 cars still on the lead lap. Lights are still on the pace car, so we have another lap here. Milty working lap 16. Um, yeah, uncharacteristic kind of racing from Ken Ron, Milty.
Yeah, I think that's what Darlington is, and especially once you've got some damage. I think he already had some damage there, but he was still pretty strong there. Your pinch points are your pinch point is turn 1, and then going through the whole turn 2 complex is very hard to pass unless you get down below and the other guy stays up high. But at that pinch point, right as you enter the apex of turn 1, is just the worst place to. And sometimes you can get snickered if a guy lets off early and you're trying to make a run.
Mm-hmm.
You can really get snookered there. Best
Yeah.
place to pass: turn 3 entry, turn 2 exit, and turn 4 exit at Darlington.
Yeah, side-by-side racing at Darlington usually ends poorly, as we've seen already. Lights are out on the pace car. Ed is our
Well,
lead.
you got huge banking, but it's barely enough for 2 cars. If it's really not enough for 2 cars, and you got all this track, but it's flat. So you got the apron right there. So any kind of when you go into turn 1, you bang off that thing, your car goes bam, and you just want to clip that bad boy. But when you try to make it pass into turn 1, then if you get a little bit inside there, it's no bueno.
Yeah, so we will get back under the green here momentarily.
The new mother, she's definitely curtailed her racing. Gone back to the FSB division. Nicole Johnson,
Yeah, up into the top five now,
still a studette. And
sure.
this is right up her alley right here.
Yes, it is.
She's a wheel man woman.
Yes, she
She's
is.
a wheel woman, and she can wheel.
Really.
Look at our run at 24 Hours of Spa.
Mm-hmm.
She orchestrated the whole thing and
Yeah,
built
absolutely.
built the setup for us, and we came and had we not got wrecked in the first 5 laps and had a damaged car, we would have definitely been in the mix to win that
Oh, and the
race.
23 Milty gets really loose in front of the field, but everyone avoids it. Ken Shea, the loser there, though, had to
Come
really
on, Nikki.
take evasive action. Uh, but it looks like everyone has settled back in.
This girl
23
could
car was
wheel.
completely sideways.
She's done some real racing. She's done a lot of stuff. She's got a heck of a simulator that I don't know if she can. I think now she could probably use at full strength, like a $3,500 simulator. Whips and yanks and hydraulic. One of them real bitchin' simulators you can see online, and so and that's not necessarily an advantage. That's just realism. It's pulling, yanking, and tugging on you. So she's feeling those.
Yeah,
I
she's
know
got.
because we ran the Trans Am race last year at Dakota. She sprained her wrist racing against me. I was fortunate enough to get the win there, and it was because she sprained her wrist.
Yeah, that's as realistic a simulator I think as you could find, and she was able to turn someone else's unwanted thing into what it is for her, which is obviously gives it the realism that everyone I think would be thinking is pretty
Pops
cool.
Pops wants that dang lap back. Apparently he's a lap down now, and the 6 is coming, but the Pops still got full steam here.
Now Pops is showing in 5th place, Milty.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, okay.
Mark DeSenza, though, is showing as our new leader, Milty. Steve Weber up to 2nd, Ed back to 3rd. I think Ed's going into tire conservation
That
mode.
6 dude
And Mark
from his
DeSenza
days.
charges forward. And then there's a big gap back to Nicole and Pops, who seem to have settled into these positions here. Ken Shea right behind him. And then the 07 of Ken Soslow, looks like right behind Ken Shea there, Milty. And then there's the 98 car. Haven't called his number yet tonight. 98 car, Sam Young. Sammy moving up. And you know, Sammy loves to run a high line, Milty, just no matter what track he goes to. And Darlington will reward a high line. It's a risk reward, though, because that wall gets ever so close to you.
You see that arcing line. How about that? Mark DeSenza has been a stud at this track way back from his days at CCR Racing, and I raced against him there years ago. But he's got Steve Weber there, and Steve Weber is, he's making a real arcing line in and below the race line there. Very interesting line, how that will work for him later.
Yeah, it's all about tire conservation now. If you feel like there's going to be a long run, Milty, and you've been abusive on your tires in these first like 5-6 laps of a run, you're really going to be paying the price dearly with short pitting and maybe having to even make an extra pit stop in the overall scheme of things, which could cost you.
Ken Shea sitting back there on a sack of seeds. This guy can pounce, man. And right now he's waiting to see what happens between,
Well,
like you said, Gerstetter. I think he's trying to save tires, but
whoa, and
Nicole's got
Nicole.
no look at.
And
She's got
Nicole's
no
like,
business with
move
that. I
aside,
don't think
Ed.
so.
Move aside, Ed. I'm going to the front right now. If you want to sit back and save, go ahead. And Nicole charges forward, and Nicole looks like she's really gaining ground on the leaders and carrying Pops and Ken Shea with her. And like you said, Ken Shea just along for the ride right now, and he's sitting pretty, maybe keeping some good equipment under him, and he's going to be there for this long run.
Well, I think when you look at Ken Shea, multiple winner in short track racing, has the ability to win everywhere. He's really refined his game here, and yellow is out.
Caution is out. We see some smoke. See some smoke there, Milty. And not sure who was responsible for that smoke, but cars are slowing down. I saw the 42 down. I saw Gary there. It looked like he was down on the apron. I'm not sure if he was just slowing down or up. Let's take a look at
Nicole
this,
looks
Milty.
like she has lost her connection and reconnected. That's interesting.
Oh, well, taking a look at this caution, Milty. 42 car of Gary Piccolo. Oh,
Okay.
the 07 of Ken Soska got sideways in front of him. Nowhere to go for the 42, and both hard into the wall. Looks like they were the only ones involved, but some pretty good damage there for the 42 car, Melty. Go back live, we see Gary limping now. The Pennzoil. Fortunately, we don't have paint for these guys, Milty. So he's showing
When
right
you're a
now
new
in the Pennzoil car.
when you're a new member, until you make the league with your sportsmanship and driver skills, mostly sportsmanship, you get a default car before you can upload a car.
Yeah, so we see him in the 42 Pennzoil car. We see everyone else kind of that's been around here, the Sam, Ryan Johnson, Ken Shea, Guy Petra. They're all in their custom paints, and there's the 07 of Ken Soska. So there's the two who were involved, and they come out right next to each other. That's the way it always happens, Milty. You have a little incident on the track with someone. You get into the pits. You're kind of maybe not happy. You get the car fixed up, get your tires, you get back out there, and then they're right in front of you again. You're just like, maybe I should pit again.
Yep, you have to keep your wits about you. It is what it is. Disappointment's a part of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
All right, as Milty takes a little break there, we're back live, and 86 car showing on the point here, and that's Mark Dillon Jr. leading his first laps. Lap 31 of 147 here, FSB Racing. Welcome Friday night Aero 88 series. I'm here with Milt Mintner Jr. Large field started this race, and immediately the lady slapped a few down. As we see, 4 are out of the race. Just one car laps down, though. So we have 18 strong on the lead lap. So still a lot for the points guys here in the Winston Cup Series. Still a lot to gain and a lot to lose for those guys when there's still 18 cars on the lead lap. You still got to drive a race here, and some guys have agendas of winning, some guys have agendas of max points, and that's why Winston Cup Racing is always good, because these large fields sometimes bring out the let's say the heavy hitters of FSB sometimes, who are just looking for that big win against the big fields, and a guy like Ken Shea here certainly can move his way right to the front and take this checkered flag. And I'm sure he's thinking nothing other than doing that.
Yeah, and there's been uh, requests for broadcasts for other nights. It just depends on how the crow flies sometimes.
Yeah, and uh, sometimes the midweek racing, super speedway, certainly can attract a nice field, Milty.
We'd like to do some Pro Cup too, but
Yeah, we would.
Monday night is pretty tough.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm behind the wheel on Monday and Tuesday nights generally. Trying to help Team Donkey Bop there in the team standings, trying to pick up
Oh,
some points. And speaking of Team Donkey Bop, Melty, embattled with the Baker boys in GTP series. But the Baker boys really are led by uh, young Chris. Uh, but Dad is no slouch to GTP racing at all, and he's racking up some substantial points against Donkey Bot Milty, and we could really use a veteran driver. So
really, really looking
with that with that seat fix, Milty,
this Sunday.
Spa Francorchamps uh, is the venue, and we know what your love affair with Spa is. And we know you love it, Milty.
Absolutely, nestled in the Ardennes forest for the 101st Airborne. Beat the Germans there in the Battle of the Bulge, but it was a tough battle, and it's always a tough battle on that track.
Oh yeah. And the dog is leading us down to the green flag, Milty. Mark DeSenza second, Steve Weber third, Nicole up to fourth, and Ed in fifth. Those are our top five as we take the green, and the dog leading the pack.
Oh, what can you say here?
The dog
This
always has respect for the lady. So let's see if the lady treats dog well as he's the leader, and let's see if he leads green flag laps. And boy, that's huge to lead green flag laps at Darlington. I don't care what series, Milty.
holding down low.
Yeah, he looked like he's
Deciding he's going to let people by there.
like
Not comfortable with that
oh,
pace.
or mission accomplished for the dog. He wanted to lead a green flag lap, I think, there, Milty, and said, "All right, I led the field. I'm good."
Yeah, that's a punto there.
That's right. Find a place that now he can be comfortable in driving, and he'll move on, Milty. That's some veteran driving there by the dog.
Yeah, they're looking at team championship points here, and also getting their studs up there. You know the 34. He's pretty much out of it. But Ryan Johnson,
Yeah, Ryan's.
he was talking about coming up to the booth here, but right now he's mired out of the top 10 here, so he's got some work to do.
Yeah, and speaking of Ryan, we haven't really called his number yet tonight. There he is in the 59 ride, and he's looking
Oh,
solid,
he's in
Milty.
P7. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
in
up to
P7.
7th. Isaac in 10th, so the Johnsons hanging in the top 10. So Isaac really must. Crew looks like they did a pretty good job on that car, Milty. Looks pretty nice.
We got Monsoon 1 and 2. Then you got Thor Dog 3rd, and you got FSB 4th and 5th.
And,
What they gonna do?
Yeah, and there's I think pops is what? Hit the pace car, Milty? Slight.
He's full throttle.
Okay, full throttle. And we have caution out here. And looks like the 72 car was around, Milty. Let's take a...
Oh, that's Mike Pruitt from
Yeah.
Sugar Land, Texas there. It's a
Wow.
hard lick in the rear there.
And it looked like him and Ken Hansen got into it. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, it looks like just kind of like a Darlington incident there, Milty.
Pruitt's down on tires, trying to. I think he's got a couple flat there, trying to get in the line. Struggling a little bit as they wait for the pace car.
And we're under caution again at Darlington, so it's living up to its name. It is a tough track, Milty. And passing is just the most difficult track to pass in. It's got to be Darlington.
Looking at the replay, Ken Hansen looking down low, and the 72 gets slows down a little bit faster than he thought he was going to, and he may have been going around already, or he took the air off him, but looks like the 9 had contact with the 72 there. And you back into that concrete, it's not good. So we reset here. Barely over a fuel run. We got a long way to go here.
Yeah, we do, Milty.
It's going to settle down.
Only. So still, what, over 100 plus laps still remaining. Still showing 17 cars on the lead lap. It's like the 07 of Ken Soska now showing 1 lap down, Milty. And Ken got roughed up earlier in the race, so.
Quickly here, we got the driver of the 59 car winner this year, Ryan Johnson. So what are you seeing here so far, bro?
Well, seeing more cautions what I'd like. I'd like a longer run. I think I'd be a little bit more better on that. So right now I'm just getting tires every chance I get, and in hopes of that long run, see if I can gain some more spots and be there at the end.
So you think you get a long run here, you can make some moves here right now. What's the car like the first couple laps after you change tires?
Only getting loose coming off of 4 the first couple laps. Seems to stick pretty good in 1 and 2, but 4 seems to be a little sketchy for me.
What we're seeing here is problems with passing or guys losing it here. So what's your strategy going forward here? You just going to try to play it patient? You're still running here pretty darn good. So what's your plan?
Well, my plan is just to try and be here at the end of it. I know there's probably going to be some more fallout, and like I said a minute ago, if we get some long runs, I think I can probably pick up a few more. I'm trying to get top 5. That's my goal. So, if win comes, it's great, but top 5 would be fine by me.
Cool deal. Thanks for your input, and
right.
we'll drag you back down there.
Good luck, Ryan.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Milty. So yeah, there's Ryan Johnson, so in the 9th position right now, lap 41 of 147. FSB Racing Aero 88 Series Friday night, Milty. That's what it's all about. This is obviously Pro Cup wins are still very coveted in the league, but Winston Cup wins are quickly becoming the number 2 prestigious win of the week.
Yeah, the broadcast races, so everybody wants to be live on TV and getting a win here, so. Pretty much, the same plan strategy I would have, and not get too excited. He's in the top 10, running well, staying out of trouble. Just like he said, he sees that there's going to be more cautions. This is Darlington, so keep your piece clean. Absolutely. And work it to the end.
Take a wide look here at the field as they come off of 4. Ready to take the green flag. Mark DeSenza going to leave them down. Back to green flag racing here in lap 42.
Got to look at these cars like Mike Pruitt in the 72, severely beat up in the rear. That's a worse combination and he is loose already, but hanging in turn 1. But this is bad news for him. Better keep an eye on that. Kent Hansen looks pretty good there. I'm sure he's not. Oh, and the 72 gets loose again. Turn 3 and 4 and comes out again. Just a matter of time. Ken Hansen needs to get by him. He's got points to get here for a championship. But he is definitely not. The 9 car has not put himself in the track position he would like, I'm sure.
No,
it is what it is.
Yeah, and we don't know. We don't know if there's any damage to the 9 car either, Milty, from that incident. It looked like he did hit the wall pretty decently. See if his crew could have patched that thing up or not. I guess time will tell there, as we have still about 104 laps remaining. So if your car is bad now, it's going to be really bad 100 laps from now.
Yeah, Pruitt doing well right out the box here as the tires get warm. But we'll see how his future goes as he's finding the apron again there. That thing's a handful, dude.
I'm sure it is.
And here goes Ken Hansen down low, making the pass. Mark Dillon Jr. looking to make that same pass. Oh, hard into the wall is 72. He keeps going, but he's grabbing his ass with 2 hands right there.
Yeah, they see the heavy damage to the back of the car, and he's up and brushing the wall again.
Oh boy, he almost lost it out of 4 again. But, folks, you don't know how hard it is unless you've done this to handle a car with damage like that in the rear.
And back to the front, Milty, we got Ed getting a little squirrely with the teammates Sam and Pops there. Looks like Ed lets them get by there, and now driver we just got done talking with, Ryan Johnson, making a move on the 28 car, and he'll take that position, and so will the one that I think looks like the 91 will also get by. So Ed looked like he might have got a little out of shape there, and it's cost him several positions.
I'm so impressed. I hate to give the broadcaster jinx, but so impressed with the 59 this season, really blossoming into his own. Sim racing is an interesting thing as far as how much time you have to prepare. Uh, this season, he's been able to get more lap track time and preparation time than he's ever had before. And really, even though he's been in the league several years, he really didn't make many waves. And now, all of a sudden, he's already got a win and running, top 10 here again. And every race, you're starting to see the 59 really impress farther than we thought, just from first glance that he was capable of. And a lot of that is just track time. And, he would show up like on Sundays and run some Slim Jim Gately practice sessions, and we wouldn't see him again because he never had time to race. He was working.
Yeah, well,
And then,
that sometimes is the biggest factor, Milty. It isn't skill
like all of
ability,
us,
it's just seat time, and more seat time equals better results. That's for sure. And speaking of seat time, the 151, Milty, we haven't called his number very often tonight. But Guy Petra up to 4th positions, and Sam up to 5th. So the top 5, maybe the front runner stays the same with Mark DeCenza, Steve Weber, 1-2. Nicole 3rd, but now Guy Petra 4th, and
this
Sammy
spells
Young
like a
up
long
to 5th.
run here, and I'm surprised because we got some damaged cars out there. Knock on wood, but we got a couple laps under us here now, and yeah, absolutely. Guy Petra, we fart around all the time, but great member, great part of the league. Great,
Sammy gets a little out of shape
right.
there and gives up some positions. See if he can keep up with this pack now, though. .25 of Craig Meyer. They're trying to hold on to this lead pack. There's the 91 of Ken Shea. Boy, Ken Shea looks like he's out for a Sunday drive today, Milty. He hasn't pressed the issue at all, but he's not fallen back more than he probably is right now, which is 7th. But he looks like his car is absolutely clean.
I think we all know what Ken Shea can do on a short track, and when he decides to show up and run, and we're seeing it again, but it's also an evolution of his maturity and skill set as a driver. And
Sammy out of shape there. He's losing.
He's really looking solid and patient.
Yes, he is.
And when you see the 91 like that, because let me tell you, if he gets in the top 5 or top 3 at the end, then he can press the go button. Because he already, I guarantee he knows how to go fast.
Oh, and we got Nicole up into the
He's
wall.
Get through this. Pops sideways. Look at that save. Whoa! Wow!
And we stay
Look
green.
Look at the grandpa save that thing.
And we stay green, Milty.
Oh, my God. Folks, look at that thing.
Oh, my.
Sideways.
Wow, that really scrambled everything, though, too, Milty.
What a gosh darn, man, what a save. Unbelievable. I think these guys are still freaked out.
Yeah,
they don't know what to do. They're still trying to grab their ass with 2 hands here. As now we got a pile up going up towards the front, looking at 4th place here with Nicole in 4th, and my gosh,
yeah, I don't. Let's see. Nicole is up to 4th. Ryan up to 5th. 25 car.
Folks, you know how hard that is. I wish we could get back on the replay and look at that, but it was like a whoop, whoop, whoop. It was like 3 times.
And the 25 car's in trouble into the wall.
Oh, Bob. Oh, 59 gets it.
Oh, no, Nicole. Oh, no.
And there's Pops upside down.
Oh, no. Nicole's car looked like it was out of control completely, and Sammy and Pops took heavy damage, and the 25 car got crazy loose and into the wall right ahead of all that. Man, this race,
In,
Milty,
in
has
Formula
just
One, they call that tire deg, which is tire degradation.
wow. I'm whew.
Tire deg is definitely a part of, as we are under caution. And 59, don't know if he got damaged there, but he might have dodged the bullet there. Just what he wanted. Clickety click, bing, 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 lights are on. Pace car is out.
Let's go back and ride with Pops, Milty, and just take a look at what happened there before that caution incident.
Well, first he does the whoop, whoop, whoop safe, and then the lap later, he gets wiped out. That's racing, folks.
That may have been one of the best saves you'll ever see, Milty.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. Road race racing veteran, Trans Am champion, a long-time veteran, long of tooth. He's about the oldest guy in the league, but he can roll, dude. And he's been competitive this whole race, and he ain't hanging up. He's not Tony Stewart in it next year. I don't think so. Pop's going to be around for a while, but let's hope he gets out of the in-car care center there. Good thing it's not real.
Yeah, the old man would have been really banged up in that one, Milty.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding. I'm not much.
But we're watching it here. Sammy looked like he just kind of moved over. I think maybe, he was thinking long run, and he may have felt uncomfortable with his tire wear. And he just basically pulled over and let the faster guys by. And
Sometimes that's the best move you can do, because this is like an endurance race. Even though because it's Darlington, man. I mean, and every lap, like we said at the beginning, every lap you got severe tire drag, and it goes away from you every single lap. How do you manage that?
yeah, and we're watching. Everything here looks very calm, and looks like everyone was kind of finding their spot, but things changed very quickly.
They're closing up on the 83 in P2 there.
Yeah, Nicole lost it there, and then Pops went down on the apron to avoid it and just went and dirt tracked it around 3 and 4 there, Milty, and then woed it up enough to keep it under control. Wow, he dirt tracked it around the entire 3 and 4.
Catch it. That thing's still sideways. Whoa! Wow!
And then let's go up now and take a look at Nicole. And Nicole gets into the wall here. More Darlington stripe action there for Nicole. But then maybe she lost connection or something, Milty. Because
I'm watching about 3-second delay. I think she just went up a little high and turned 3 and 4, which once you get up to that wall, it sucks you up, and then you lose your. So I'm still watching here. I'm about 3-4 seconds behind because I'm watching your replay.
And we see contact with the 5 and the 59, and Nicole came back right into the path of the 50 of the Pops and 98.
God.
And man, that was a major wipeout. So contact between the 5 and the 59 is what set that off, which is what we didn't see initially.
Well, the 59 was committed down low to make that pass. And I think at the same time, she dove down low. He was not expecting her to go down low there, but You know,
There we see the 99 in the pits, and Pop's car is
that's got to be one on him. We'll
bludgeoned,
have to
and
see
that's
if
it for
he's got
Pop.
damage, but it's got regardless. It's probably ink on the 59, so he's got one to go.
Yeah, and we're looking at the uh, aftermath here, and we see the Pops is out of the race. Mike Pruitt is also retired. That car must have just been too much of a handful, Milty, as you were saying. Uh,
Nicole pulled by the
the 5
59,
is showing a lap down.
I think she was waving high, or something there, but then she moves on. She's a lap down now.
Still showing 15, excuse me, still showing 15 cars on the lead lap here, or 14 cars now on the lead lap as we're back live. And lights are
Definitely
out on
one.
the pace car, so we're getting ready to go back. Wow, that was a major incident to this race here. It's really shaking it up. But who stayed out nice and clean on that was the 6 car, Milty. And boy, as this field beats each other up, the 6 car is nice and clean and in clean air, and I think that's right where he's gonna stay the rest of the
That's
race.
what he do. He's got championships. He's got wins lined up in different uh, uh, versions of this track, but this is a newer version, and but it's still Darlington, and he is still the master to be beat. So, what can these guys do? Got some new studs here. A couple of them got damaged now, so they can't really compete here. But as we go green,
Yeah, we go green, and Mark leading it down. Guy Petra also has avoided uh, carnage so far, and he has a clean car, and he gets out nice and clean right behind Mark DeSenza. And then here comes the rest of the field. Nicole showing a lap down. Steve Weber, our 3rd place car. And then right behind him, Milty, that's the 34 car. So after that initial incident, which seems like a decade ago when Isaac had that incident, and there's some contact between the 5 and the 83.
86 Mark Dillon and 59 Ryan Johnson is around, and he gets hammered from behind. Nowhere for Dog to go there as he plowed into his teammate.
That's always hurts even more, Milty. Let's take a quick look at that as we are back under caution. See the 59 car, just, yeah, looked like, Dog with just a little glancing blow. Maybe the Dog can get his car fixed up and avoid any major damages. But
Yeah, his car looks pretty good.
yeah, it looked like
Ma and daughter and granddaughter are watching. It looks okay, and he's racing for team points and team points here, and so he's definitely going to continue. Not too much damage there. That
yeah,
looks pretty good.
Again, it looked like just slowing much greater than expected and contact from behind, and then after the spin, Dog just in the wrong place at the wrong time with the spinning car, and unfortunately insult to injury, it's your teammate. But there we see the 28 car going down pit lane. We're back live. We see the 151 car also on pit lane among other cars.
Really, this race has really been dominated by Monsoon Motorsports, and that's without the great Matt Watkins. So what they gonna do.
Yeah, and we saw that Nicole had some contact with Steve Weber.
Side by side, Bisconner and the 98. Bisconner a lap down here. Let's see as they recycle how that goes. I'll be right back.
And we see we're working lap 65 of 147, closing in on the halfway point. Lights are still on the pace car. Mark DeCenza still our leader. Weber hanging in there in that second position. Car looks good, so I don't think any major issues with the contact. And 34 car, Isaac Johnson in third. 42 car clawing, fighting, biting, scratching his way back into the top 5. He's fourth. And that's a great run back. That's a great run back into the top 5 by Gary. He had some earlier issues. Maybe looked like he got banged up a little too, but maybe again, crew did some good work there, fixed that car up for him. He's showing in fourth. Ken Shea fifth. Ken Hansen battling his way back up into the top 10. He's all the way up to sixth. And again, Ken's another one that had some scrapes. Looks like the car fairly okay. Let's see if we can get a couple good looks at it here. But he's showing in the sixth position. .25 car right behind him. Another car has had some scrapes and bumps and bruises, but that's Darlington. There's Nicole, but Nicole's showing one lap down in 15th right now. 59 car just had too much damage, and looks like they're retiring and pushing his car behind the wall and back into the hauler. So tough break for Ryan there. Had a good car. We talked to him earlier. He felt like if he got a long run, he would move up. He was right with that lead pack, so looked like he was getting his wish, and then it can all go away real quick for you. And looks like that's what's happened to him, so he's out of the race.
Let's see if we can get a word with Isaac in the 34 car real quick. I think we got one to go.
Yeah, lights. We'll see if the lights go out here. We expect them to. And they have. So yeah, we got the one to go signal. Go, Milty.
We got Isaac Johnson in the 34. Real quick here before we go green, Isaac, we were wondering about your damage. How's your car?
It's kind of unpredictable right now. I've only gotten really loose one time in 3 and 4, but other than that, it's fine. It doesn't have the speed like it did before the damage, but I could probably get a top 5 out of it.
Well, Dad was running real good there, and just like racing is, bam, tough luck for your pops, but you're carrying the family flag there, so good luck. Any last thoughts before we send you back down there before we go green?
No, not really.
Good luck, man.
Get some.
Thank you.
All right, so sitting in third position right now. So if he can keep that car clean the rest of the way, he can get that top 5, I'm sure. As we're about to go green, lap 68 of 147. Mark DeCenza, our leader, and away we go. Steve Weber second, Isaac in third.
he's focusing on the race here. Of course, both these guys agreed to get pulled up at any time, so otherwise we wouldn't just yank guys up here to race. So here we go.
And Nicole lap down here is right in front of Steve, Isaac, and company. And very difficult to pass.
6 car is he's just Kevin Harvicking this thing here. Unbelievable. And I'm not surprised. I've raced against this guy for 10, 11, 12 years, and he has just gotten better and better. Soft-spoken, mild-mannered, great sportsmanship, perfect member, and also he kicks ass on the track. And bada bing, he's showing you what he can do.
Oh, and there's contact with Isaac and Nicole.
Well, it's a
And
piranha.
wow,
It's a bunch of piranhas back there now because
and I think that's it for the kid. Let's see what happened.
well, Isaac Scott wins here.
Isaac trying to go underneath as they came out of
That's not gonna
4
be
Milty.
tonight.
And then Nicole spins out right in front of him a second time and heavy contact, and that's it for the 34 and the 5, I'm sure. Yeah, again,
that's
Nicole
probably cue for her.
a lap down there. It looked like either was moving over at the same time Isaac was going to go low to take the pass. And it looks like they got together.
Oh, and then a second lick there. Yeah, that's Darlington because that's your second pitch point is turn 4. Turn 1 and turn 4, you come out there. You're expecting somebody to move over. They're trying to move over, but you also got the flow of the apex of the corner, which is to you got to come out to the wall. So when you try to go through turn 4 and let somebody by, the car wants to push up, and these drivers are trying to go back under. Very tough to pass there.
Yeah, and it's really claimed some good cars, and
You gotta go 1001, 1002, and then get to where you're pointed straight out of 4. Then you make the pass. You can't do it just coming straight out because they're fighting it. It's a tough deal. Easy to say here from the drunken booth here.
yeah, it's always easy to
Heck yeah.
make
I've run a lot of these
criticism.
suckers, man. I think I've only in my career, which is over 200 wins, but in this league, I think I've only gotten like 1 or 2 wins, and that's like, that's not Pro Cup wins. Those are Sportsman Cup wins, which are still, I'll take them, but very tough at this track to survive. You get killed or you kill. Very tough.
Absolutely, and we see a lot of cars with bumps and bruises now, and probably going to start seeing the cleanest cars come to the front as we're about approaching halfway. So
Well, my mind's on the 42 now. Schroyer, he did the roundabout there. Got one of those big ones. Went around there. How much damage does he have? He's still pretty solid there. And then Ken Shea cruising up in 4th.
yeah,
You gotta think there's always a gear for the 91. That
Yeah,
dude is. You race against him. I've raced against him. That guy is a stud, man. When is he? Is he gonna light the fire? I think this is an evolution of his racing skill set here. He's been very patient and watching the carnage go out in front of him. But it ain't over yet. It's a fist fight at this track till the end.
Absolutely, and we see as this caution continues, few of the cars coming in, getting some tires and fuel. Uh, there's always the what if? Is it gonna go green? Is it gonna go green?
So we're right at the halfway point, bro.
Yeah, we're right at the halfway point, and a couple times it almost had a look of a green flag run, and then as soon as I think I thought that, we had a caution. So, um,
Hansen up to fourth. Where did he come from? He really needs a solid finish here against the 83, and his points nemesis. They're 1 and 2 in the points, and I believe, and they're nose to tail here. What can you say about the 83 here too? Solid, solid man. But let's see how this deal completes. 9 might have a little damage there. Craig Meyer in the 25 won last week when the boss broadcasted, which was fantastic. Off the cuff, he had a little window with the babies. He had another window. Called me like at 9:30 at night and said, "Drive 45 miles to my house, and it's my 40th birthday. Let's have a few beers and hang out." And I was like, "Okay." So I drove and slept on a little cot in the racing room, and it was a blast. We had a couple hours. Of course, he had to get his kids up and get them to daycare, and he took a day off from work. His wife was Mrs. FSB was doing her thing, and so it was about a 2-hour man cave window for me and my buddy there. So it was a great stuff. Jim Ray he's the man, he's the boss, and he's also my friend. We had a blast. It was great to celebrate his 40th birthday with a few brujas, and as we go green here. What's the 9 gonna do? He's gonna sit back here. I think the 91's is just real cagey, experienced. These guys got to get to the 6 because he's got air on the nose, and when he starts these races up front like this, it's awful hard. You can see Weber trying to keep up with him, but he's got the arrow loose behind him, and following Mark DeCenza is just such a stud. And when he gets out on point like this, it's almost impossible to beat him unless he makes a mistake. Can you move him into a mistake? What you need to do to move him into mistake is to get some green flag laps and have a chance to defeat him either tire wear wise but good luck with that. As a competitor, you have to think of these options. You have to work your situation, but you're trying to work the 6. Good luck with that. He's so comfortable in this position. He knows what to do. He's calm. Get up on him here. Good luck. But Steve Weber has earned his stripes. He has fought the good fight from his career from the beginning. I was calling him a roofer from Arizona, and he reminded me I'm not a dadgum roofer. I'm he's kind of a handyman. He does all kinds of stuff here, so doesn't want to be claimed quite as just a roofer. He can do a lot of other things than that. So, and in Arizona, where it's pretty hot there, well, we have the '09 of Brian Lamb in the booth here. What's up, Brian?
Just checking in with this race.
Yeah, so what do you?
Hope you guys don't mind I drop by the broadcast booth.
Heck no. So what do you think about this? You watching this?
Quite a few yellows. I'm having a hard time with Twitch tonight, but I'm going to try to reapply it again.
All right. Well, Brian has got a couple wins here lately in the FSB division, and like all these guys are all capable of winning here. But tonight it's. I noticed the 98. He's got a little damage there. Sammy Young, our teammate, battling out with Pinky there. Craig Meyer, very solid winner. There he is again in the Folgers car, the Tim Richin 25. Obviously, brings a. That dude was he was an epic partier and racer. You know, unfortunately, that was cut short in his life, but. Ken Hansen there, top 4. Guy Pitra, top 5 there, solid run. We're starting to get a makeup of the studs here. They're going to try to figure this thing out here. Mark Dillon Jr., couple wins already this year, FSB Cup, and a solid runner there. Definitely showing what he got. Piccolo behind, he's definitely got damage. And that's showing we got a car around. That's the 25 of Craig Meyer. We got cars around. Ken Hansen in the wall, the 86. We got a big wreck. Oh, and that's a 6 car, your leader. Discombobulated here as we go back and take a look at this. Cars are slowing under caution. 83 will be your leader. Monsoon 1 and 2. 6 dropping back. Damage for the 6 car. Heavy damage in the rear. So we'll take a look at this. 6 in the lead. Webb putting pressure on. What happens here? This is at lap 82 as we're under caution now. Oh, he got loose. The typical turn 3 and 4. Great save. He must have saw the car spinning there and lost about 4 or 5 positions. No harm or foul for the 6. But now he will lose track. Oh, and then they're crashing in front of him. And he gets through that. Unbelievable. But believable. As they go flying and crashing by here, Greg's obviously taking a trip to the little boys' room here real quick. So we have no control on the footage here. Great driving by the 6. It's easy to win, but it's also it's hard to win and lose. In other words, when it's time to move over and time to assess the situation, there 6 did a great job. He will still be in the top 5 and we'll move forward here. As not sure if we're seeing the same thing on footage as what I'm watching, but they will be pitting again at lap 85. We're going to have a serious reset here. We have lost Greg on vocal here.
And how are we doing?
There he is.
Okay.
There he is.
Yeah, and we had multiple incidents there, Milty. We had the 6 getting out of shape and up high, but not damaging anything, but kind of scrambling the field. And then we had the 25 car getting out of shape and hard into the inside wall, and it did not bring out a caution somehow. And then we got the 91 and 9 that got into it, and that did bring the caution out finally. So a lot of good cars got caught up in like 3 different incidents, we'll say. And
Darlington,
yeah,
oh Darlington.
And now as the pace cars catches up the field and everyone settles back in, Steve Weber is our leader. 151 a guy Petra second, and 43 car is showing in third, but he's not showing in the running order right now, so I think the Senza will be in third. And then it's the 42 and the 28, and there comes Ed back up into the 6th position.
2 great saves there. Seen in front of him. Once he lost it, got loose, he saved the car, let the cars go by. Great driving there from the 6, and he's definitely. We'll see how he does without the air on his front now. We'll see if Steve Weber can use this to his advantage. Patient, a little bit of lucky, but him and the 151 here, we got the Monsoon guys.
Yeah, teammates. So you would expect not anything crazy to be going on up front, although it is Guy, so we can't discount that, Milty.
Well, he's all about business here on the track, all about shits and giggles off the track, which is one of the cool things about him. He's a real funny guy. Makes everybody laugh, and
yeah, he's funny. Funny how? Funny like a clown?
Funny like a clown?
Yeah.
Am I here to amuse you?
Yeah, he is here to amuse us, and he's here to entertain as well, and he's doing a great job. He's sitting in second. We have now, what do we have, Milty?
Well, we're looking at 60 laps.
60 laps, yeah. 60
so we
laps
still
to
got
go.
one more stop if we go green.
Yes, we
32, 34.
Finally peels off. And let's get back to some green flag racing with the 83, 151, 6 in the 42.
Well, that 6 is going to be on the move, I guarantee.
I think the 28 is going to be on the move now, Milty. He's kind of bided his time in the center of that race. He kind of disappeared on us into the back of the pack, but now he's resurfacing. He's in 5th, and it looks like the car looks pretty good. So let's see what Ed can do. Also, that 42, Milty, we can't count him out.
Okay, well, we lost the '09 of Brian Lamb. Was going to come up here, but he's having technical difficulties, so we'll see how that goes.
And right now, 83 car is on point. 151 right behind him. 6 of Mark DeSenza with some new life with that caution. He kind of got out of shape. That could have really hurt him if it stayed green, but it didn't. And he gathered it back up. Now he's back up to third. See what
Well,
he
you got
can
to do what you do. You 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 ran P2 the whole race. You were able to stay in the wake of the 6 car and still compete. Now you got the air on your nose here, and your teammate behind you who is also hungry for a win. Both these guys love to get a win on TV here, and but they got that stud, the 6 here, so they got to be thinking a little. Not much you can do. You can't play defense or anything. You got to run your line and race the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Darlington, you have to race or you're gonna get zapped real quick.
You gotta defeat your opponent by how you deal with the track. You can't defeat them by dealing with them. You worry about them, and you're in a world of hurt. Okay, top 5 there. Still 42. Still hammering. Schroyer has run very well.
Yes, he has.
Don't know if he has. We saw him spinning and hit
That's
the wall.
Gary in the 42 Melty.
Oh, that's Piccolo. I'm sorry. Keep getting those mixed up there.
Yeah, Gary had some early success, got in trouble, fell back, but now trying to see if that car can take him to the front again. He's up to the 4th and seems to be running fairly well with the leaders, so looks like the car looks okay. And right behind him, the 91 of Ken Shea. Ken also was involved in that incident with Ken Hansen. And now the 42 gets really loose and down to the inside.
Woo!
Gathers it back up as he hammers into 3. And boy, that's not where you want to be getting into 3.
Well, that's typical Darlington. A couple laps you can run good. It's running hard here, but Mark makes the pass on Guy. He let him by there. Very smart. He knows big picture racing here.
Absolutely. And now as laps click off, Milty, these guys immediately start thinking of green flag stop and saving the tires so you can get a fuel run here. If you can get a fuel run out of Darlington and keep the tires underneath you, you've really helped yourself.
You gotta work back from the numbers here, and now you know it's one stop. You gotta assume it's gonna go long.
Yeah,
and Ken Shea taking a look here at the 42. No, can't pull it off yet there.
Yeah, Gary got a little loose a couple laps ago there, so
there you go. This is where you want to pass. In the 3, no, can't make it happen. Patience. Try out a 4. Turn 1, not so good. So you want to set in and set them up at turn 1, and then try to get them out of 2 here. 42 still got too much mojo yet.
Yeah, he does. And 42.
Very nice line from Piccolo there. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, he came off of a 2 there and just powered down the back
that
straight.
car wants to step out. 700 horsepower wants to go.
Yeah, and the 151 steps out just a bit there, as you said it, Milty. But now Mark DeSenza filling up Weber's mirror, and Mark hungry to take that lead back, you can tell.
86 and 6th. Yeah, I think he's been in a couple incidents here. No harm, no foul. Still, he's running right on the black right there, right on the edge of where you can run before you get into marbles out of turn 4. Still pretty strong, but 1.5 is your distance here, and he's still in the draft zone, but I think he's going to fall back from the 91 here.
Yeah, it looks like the 86 just a little off there, but the 151 got squirrely, and he's off the pace, Milty.
Oh, 86 right up against the wall. Kerstetter really thought he would be a factor in this.
Wow. And,
just can't really get the nose of that car to stick.
Well,
and
lots of things just happened there, Milty. The 83 car, Steve Weber, I think got out of shape.
Yeah, and the 6th assumes the lead.
Yeah.
That's how quick it happens.
Yeah, let's.
It's a heart thumper in every lap here. Take a look at that.
Yeah, we see he just got a little loose, Milty, and had to chase it up the hill. Kept it off the wall, but that also affected Guy Petro, who had to take evasive action. 42 car made a move to take second, and then there comes Ken Shea, and Ken Shea takes advantage as well of Steve Weber's just a ever so slight mistake, Milty, and boy, it's magnified here at Darlington. And so let's reset this running order.
Again. See ya.
And now Ken Shea up to second, Milty, so he gets around the 42 of Gary Piccolo. So now we have Mark DeSenza in the lead, Ken Shea second. Gary back to third, Steve fourth, Mark Dillon Jr. fifth, Guy Petro back to sixth. And then a little ways back, a couple seconds, 28 of Ed Kerstetter. So Ed, yeah, just not on the pace right now. We'll see if he can pick it back up. Still 45 laps to go, so let's see what Ed can do. But yeah, Ed's just not making the drive like we're used to seeing.
In Pro Cup, seeing the great Damon Godstilla put these races away, and but it was green flag racing here. The 6 trying to put it away. Every time he does, then he gets a caution here. But really, the class of the field. But if the 91 can get a shot at him with a few laps to go, then we're talking business here.
Yeah, and you know we saw Mark make a slight mistake before with the lead, so it's Darlington.
This is Darlington.
Anything possible. Ken Shea the faster car that last lap by about 1/10 of a second. So it's not that Ken is not just letting them get away here by any means, but you can see the gap.
This track is like a grinder. You grind on a piece of metal, and you grind and you wait, and I haven't cut through it all the way, and all of a sudden you cut through it. As every lap, it's grinding these tires down, and every lap you have to go a little bit slower into the corners. You try to drive into that sucker the same you did the last time, it might not stick, you know. You never know when it's going to pop up and go, oh, oh, darn it. I'm up against the wall. You hit that same braking point every time, especially in the turn 3 and turn 1, and your apex and your corner speed is always the same, but in reality, like no other track, it dissipates every single lap.
And we're looking here, Milty, at the fastest times laid down so far in this race. And what's funny is with all the speed Mark DeSenza is showing, his car is only the 11th quickest car. So that shows you the competitive balance here. With the 9 and the 99 cars, laying down the fastest laps, and Mark DeSenza with our lead, not even in the top 10.
Well, it's his average lap time is what's killing these guys, and that's pretty pretty much par for the course is we have our sponsor Friday night here, Stallman's at Bear Creek. Chad Stallman, how's it doing, man?
Yo, how are you?
Hey, Chad.
Well,
Great to see you up here.
well,
Yeah.
so what do you think of this thing here, sponsor? We appreciate your sponsorship of our Friday night races. What are you thinking of this race here?
Well, I'm gotta get to it. I just got home, so let me log in and I'll take a look and chime in a little bit. I don't want to interrupt y'all.
Heck no. Welcome to the booth and
Yeah, absolutely.
get yourself in the game here and watch this broadcast. And thanks again for your sponsorship, which we did not mention so far. That's Stallman's at Bear Creek, our sponsor for Friday nights. We thank you.
Oh man, it's my pleasure. Hey, put a link to me for the race, if you can.
Okay, let's see. Let's I'll copy and how do I do that? I could put that in. Put it in the FSBRacing.com section, and there it is.
And while you're doing that, Mark DeSenza has pulled away slightly from the 91 car, but the big mover right now is the 28 car.
Post.
Ed has moved up from about 7th position all the way up to 4th.
Just
And
look at
he's,
FSBRacing.com.
pressuring the 83 car in the 3rd position. And Webb just made a little bobble there, and Ed's going to take big advantage of that. He's right on the tail.
Well, okay, we got some green flag here, and we got some studs here, and we got the sponsor. We got it all here.
Yeah, and
So
I would
as Chad
expect Milty.
gets dialed in here. What are we gonna do?
Well, with 36 laps to go, I'm expecting green flag stops in about 6 laps, Milty. Cutting this distance in half
Absolutely, yep.
is probably what a lot of these guys have got to be thinking now. But Ed right now really saved his tires, I think, in that first half of this run. And it's paying dividends as he's all the way up to the 3rd position. And I'm trying to see how he relates to Mark DeSenza right now. And he's was well over 8 seconds behind. Now he's 6 seconds. So it looks like Ed might be on the move here.
Gotta think so. He's avoided carnage. They just don't have no answer for the 6th, though. He's just up and gone, and he's in the catbird seat here because they can pit on the green. He can wait some laps. He's got a 2.84 second lead here, so he's got a lap or two to play with here to have better tires, and also in case the caution comes out.
Absolutely, and I'm sure he's going to be watching very interestingly to see when the 91 and the 28 pit. Right now, Ken Shea has fallen back to over 3 seconds behind now, Milty. So he's lost a couple seconds over the last 5-6 laps. But the 28 car is the fastest car on the track right now, and he's cut about a second off of Mark DeSenza's lead in maybe the last 3 laps. So Ed is on the move. Looks like Ken Shea might be falling back just a bit. And Mark, as you said, is in the catbird seat right now with a nice lead.
When you look at the points battle, you're looking at the 83 and P1, 9 and P2. They're 2 positions away from each other. They're battling hard here to win this Stallman's at Bear Creek championship here on Friday night.
And we're very concerned about that because that depends on who we send all these trophies to.
Absolutely. Because distances cost more money.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And a lot depends on how much we like somebody or don't like. So no, I'm just kidding.
Well, seriously, Chad, though, it's great you sponsoring the. We appreciate that. What is your experience for your first year here? You've ran well and gotten close to top fives here. What do you
Well,
think about this?
well, it's been one of the hardest seasons I've ever raced in my life. I mean, this season alone, I've cut my hand in half. We started fostering 2 children, and so I have not been anywhere near the top game at all. But that at the same time, the abilities of the other people in this league are incredible. And so, any given day, let's say you're in the FSB league, right? Uh, try to, instead of the pro, any given day you could have an amazing guy leave, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're all going to win races." Well, then somebody can just step right in, and they come in, and then they bring even more talent to the FSB League Series. And on the pro circuit, it's the same exact way. I mean, there's a few guys that are able to run really well constantly over and over again, but all in all, there's always a lot of talent, and it always brings your own game up. One of the reasons why we decided to sponsor it, our store did, was because I used to race here 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I had to,
I remember that.
yeah, and I remember you, and I had to leave, and it was such a gift for me. And all I thought about while I wasn't racing here was getting back to this league and racing, because there was so much to learn, so much talent, so many great guys. And to be able to come back and give back everything that I learned from that first year 8 years ago or whatever it was, or 7 years ago, was just a gift and all. And it's my privilege to be able to give back.
Thank you, man. And we appreciate it, especially Friday night. We have a caution here, so.
With caution, and Mark DeSenza and Ken
But
Shea
stay
were on
with
pit
us
lane
here. We'd
at
like
the
to hear
time of the
more.
caution. So, and the 6 and the 91 were on pit road, Milty, when the caution came out, and you know how that can really scramble things up. We're gonna have to check the running order once it all hashes out here. But it looked like the 28 car was our leader on the track at the time of caution.
Even with the few laps there are to go, everybody's going to want tires, so everybody's going to come in. That'll probably put them in first place, first, second.
Yeah, if Mark and Ken Shea were able to beat the car out, and it looks like they have.
It looks like
Ken Shea is going to be our leader here. With full service just done for his car, Milty, so he's sitting pretty right now.
Oh, we talked about Ski G, as we call him. Yeah, you see his name, SKEI. Or JI. But Ken Shea he's a stud,
Yeah, now he finally gets that spot that he's been coveting, Milty. He's going to lead this field down to the green flag with about 24 laps to go or so.
I have a special place in my heart for Ken, because him, Kevin Lewis, Slim Jim Gately, I've done a lot of racing in this league. One of my weak, if you're a serious racer, if you're a humble racer and you want to get better, even if you won a lot of races, which I've won a few, I took a tutelage from them guys, especially Ken Shea. Spent a lot of time trying to help me in short track racing, and I totally appreciate that help. That's the kind of help you'll get here. You're never too good to get better, and as we see in the chat window, Derek Justice from Blazing Pedals, one of our friends, posted in the chat room. Welcome, guys, or what's up, guys? And so he's watching the broadcast
Yeah,
tonight.
Derek's a great guy, and
Yeah, he's
another
cool people. Him and his brother are
top
badass.
driver as well, and we
World
race
class,
a lot of
yeah.
his tracks that he's put a lot of work and time and effort in. Spent a lot of time with me, getting me familiar with the buttons and what's what here, and yeah, it's hats off to Derek and MBP. Great racing league, a lot of great drivers, a lot of FSB guys race there, a lot of BPers race here, and that's the way we like it. We like to ramp up the competition. And
Yeah, it's
this
pro,
is it
pro
right
racing.
here.
You know, it's
Yeah, so
that's
now
how we
Milty,
do.
once we had a reset, as unfortunately I suspected, Ken Shea was not able to beat out the pace car. He's showing on the tail end of the lead lap. So we're going to have some craziness here with the 91, the 42, the 151, and the 80. Well, now the 42 looks like it's pitted. So the 91, the 151, and the 86 are on the tail end of the lead lap, Milty. And our leader is the 6 car, Mark DeSenza.
So before we go green here, Chad, tell us about Stallman's. We'd like you to give a shout out to all the people that are sponsoring these trophies for these guys.
Well, just real quick, me and my wife were both teachers, and we went on our honeymoon, and we were broke, and she said, "You better find something to do." So I started farming, and no shit, no kidding, sorry. And it just progressed and progressed and progressed into this big, huge, like organic, like farmers market, grocery store type thing. And it's generated a lot of income for the families that work there, and a little bit of income for me and my wife. It sustains our little family, but it's just a good way to make a living, you know. And I don't have a boss, and you can look for us at facebook.com/Stallmans. That's STAHLMANS. Right now we got a big old pumpkin patch, and then we'll do, you know, Christmas trees, and then when we get back to the summer vegetables, peaches. That's what we sell more of anything, is peaches.
Fantastic. I love peaches, man.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
that you sponsored this. Just fantastic stuff. As we're looking at the 83 was kind of, I guess, I don't know if he had a penalty there or.
No, well, 83 is showing in 4th place right now on the lead lap. Only 4 cars, Milty, are actually on the front side of the lead lap, and then we have 3 guys on the tail end of the lead lap. This is chaos.
So Chad, we seen you on the track. We see you can and you can drive a car. You know, what's your take on what's going to happen here at the end here with 23 laps to go here?
Well, I mean, I could. Can I use curse words to describe what's going to happen or not?
Well, you know, I mean, I think this is pretty much.
I'm kidding.
I threw a few F-bombs. So.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, there's gonna be a caution. I'm sure there's too many people with too much on the line, and those guys up front, especially Pony Express, they're gonna. And Mark Dillon right there, he's gonna do everything he can to keep his position.
He got to go. Yeah, absolutely.
All those guys, and then you got the lappers too.
Yeah,
and there's no room in this track to do what they're doing, none at all.
I totally agree, man. So let's get some. Let's see what we're going to see here. We're going to see something good here. Last week we saw cars when Greg was on vacation there. We saw cars like 2 stories high here. Are we going to see a finish like that?
I was one of those cars, and that was the wildest ride I've ever had in NASCAR. And I was minding my own business, you know, and that's what happens. Super Speedway. But here, as you see, I mean, getting around Darlington is not easy. I mean, in real life or in the simulator that we do. But if you just watched all these drivers, they did it professionally and kind of sexy, actually, how they all got in line and now they're racing really fast and doing what they're supposed to do as a job to help their teammates and the league.
Absolutely, it's the symbiotes of brake and gas pedal focus, and is sexy, you know.
Yeah, so we have the 91, 151, 86 fighting tooth and nail to stay on the lead lap and hope maybe a caution comes out so they can come back around. But the 6 car giving them no mercy at all over the back bumper of Mark Dillon, is our leader of the race, which is the 6 of Mark DeSenza. And he's not content to cruise because the 28 car is going to breathe down his neck, and Mark's got to go. And unfortunately, the cars ahead of Mark DeSenza, that is, are very fast cars. And it's not easy to pass.
They don't want to go a lap down right now. I mean, Mark Dillon had to get all the way there, but he fought that.
Yeah, he did, and he should fight it. He was on the tail end of the lead lap. He has every right to hold his position there, but Mark DeSenza is just too.
This is a tiddlywinks.
Willed his way by, and now Guy Petro, who's been fast all night.
Get some, come on.
You know, may have been in contention for a win if not for that last caution. He's going to have his hands full now with the 6 car.
The 20. Oh, they got.
Shea gets loose.
Jeez.
Wow,
That's
the 91 just broke
the
loose.
The 6 car to get bottled up here. He's stuck behind the 151, who's about to go a lap down here.
Yeah, no, Ed is actually caught in traffic, and Mark DeSenza just has 1 car ahead of him, and that's a very fast car. And Ed's dealing with the 91 and the 86.
Guy's going to do the right thing here. He's going to move over, even though, you know, he could block for his teammates, but this isn't real racing, you know. You gotta you know, etiquette this. There's no fist fights in the pits after, so...
And just something to note about what you're seeing if you're watching the broadcast. I mean, these guys are passing here at Darlington. I mean, I saw just 3 wide just a second ago, but 2 wide. 2 wide at Darlington is even absurd, coming into 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Yeah. And they just did it like professionals right there. And Milt, you were talking about people not blocking. You know, there's some real competition here going on behind the scenes. So if you're looking for competition, you'll find it here. But at the same time, at the end of the race, everybody's shaking hands and hugging though too. You know.
Absolutely, Chad. That's what it's all about. Absolutely,
And right now, and Kent Shea gets a little out of shape there as we were watching him try to stay up with the leaders, so he's going to fall back. Only 3 cars on the lead lap. Mark DeSenza, Ed in second, and the Dog. Only 3 cars on the lead lap, and Dog's one of them. So Dog with a tremendous run, and he's got a podium spot right now locked up. If he can stay on the lead lap for about 13 more laps, Milty, and I think he will.
He was around. There he is.
Had contact with his teammate earlier on in the race, and he's come back all the way from that up to 3rd. Mark DeSenza with about a half-second lead now on Ed. So now the question is, who has the better car?
Well, half a second is a long time at Darlington. At other tracks, it's not very long, but half a second. I mean, but at the same time, if you bobble at all, you're going to lose that half a second. But if both cars drive straight and true, then a half a second's a long way at Darlington because it's hard to pass anyways. And there's no way that 6 car is going to let him go by him. It's going to be a cool race if he can get up to him.
Yeah, obviously they need a caution here for a chance. 1, 2, and 3.
And as we jump into the cockpit with Ed, looking out at Mark, right ahead of him, Milty, why don't you give us a couple laps around Darlington?
Okay, we're here with yeah, okay, here we go.
You see Ed working the backstretch here, coming into 3.
Oh, you going to 3 here. You got to stay low. Keep it down low. Arc a look. And car, you want to clip the inside right at the line right there and let it drift out, in and clip the line. Perfect.
And then rocketing down the backstretch there, Milty, you got a great run there.
Upside
picked
down,
up some ground
in. Gotta be patient. Darlington is like no other, especially if you got a chance to catch the leader here. You can't overdrive the track. You gotta race the track here. Stay down low. I like his line right here. If you get up towards the racing line up there, higher towards the wall, you waste your tire. Down low, hard on braking and turn.
If you notice the difference between the two, the 28 is staying low through 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and the
And he is gaining.
yeah,
He's
he
coming.
is. But that high
Down
line,
low.
through that 1 and 2 is so much more preferred than the low line.
See, all he does here, brake, high end, down low. Look, fellas, folks, this is hard to do, especially with worn tires now.
And
These
that's
tires are
quality
tired.
driving by Ed right now, and he's really put the pressure on him. He's only 0.3 of a second now
Down
off the
low,
pace.
down low. Stay. Mark is starting to see the line that the 28 is doing, so he's trying to mimic it now. He's going to defend. He's going to brake earlier. He's going to defend down low. Oh, he can't keep it low.
Yeah, it looks like Mark's committed to that higher line, Milty. He's run it almost all
He's
race.
losing.
But he's losing ground doing it.
He's
So
losing ground. Easy to say from here in the booth, but down low again. I like. This is the line I'd love to run back in the day at this track. Down, brake earlier, lift off. Hear the motor.
yeah, and right now we got about 5 laps to go.
5 to go. You got to get some here. Mark said that he's been sitting on a sack of seats here. Now he's going to go. What can Ed do with him?
Take another.
Ed drives in a little harder now. He's going the outside line now. Look how the 28 works both lines here. Pro Sim Racing, very difficult. What are you going to do now?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Up on the roof cam now with Ed, we can
Get some.
really get a little better appreciation of the track and the wall, how close to the wall he's getting. That's just inches away.
Oh, the 6 is loose.
And a little contact there. And Ed got loose. And Ed broke loose trying to avoid contact with the 6, it looked like, Milty. Downshifted into 3rd. And now, yeah, that's a tough break for Ed. With just 3 laps to go, I don't know if he can make up that difference now.
And Ed's the kind of guy that would rather wreck himself than wreck somebody else on the track.
Absolutely. That's definitely Chad.
And Ed, a little out of shape again, as he's probably just giving it everything he got now. But with 2 laps to go, I don't know if it's going to happen now for him. Mark Senza got a little high there, Milty. Ed got a run on him and just a little contact, and I don't know if it was Ed avoiding contact that got him loose or if the car just broke loose on him. But that might be all she wrote here for this race. Looks like Mark DeSenza is going to be our winner.
And you guys finish up real well. I'll see you guys later. It was great coming up here. See y'all later.
All right,
Chad.
Chad. Thanks for showing up in the booth.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
I got to go
it.
down to my teammates. I got to go down to my teammates and hold a pacifier in their mouth while they cry.
Well, there won't be any crying in the
There's
voodoo
no
pits,
crying in sim
Milty,
racing.
because Mark DeSenza is our winner, Ed second. And the dog brought it
Great
home in
show.
third. Lead lap finish for just 3 cars, and dog is on the podium along with Ed and Mark. So great podium for dog, and he'll be joining us, Milty.
How about that? He will be in the booth.
Guy
I'm gonna
Petra
step
leads
away
the
and
charge of lap down
I'm gonna
cars.
leak the dog real quick here, and I'll be right back. Fantastic. A great chat. Fantastic finish. Be right back.
And some good intense racing. We saw Ed just claw his way back to the back bumper of Mark DeSenza, but just couldn't get enough to get by him. A little bobble there at the end, and that sealed the win for Mark DeSenza. Ed second, dog third. Host of one lap down cars round out our top 10, led by Guy Petra in fourth, Ken Shea fifth, Gary finished in sixth. Rick Bisconer, we haven't talked about Rick almost all race there. Rick with a great 7th place finish there, so congrats to Rick. Ken Soska had some early damage and fought on and soldiered on and brought it home in 8th, so it's a satisfying finish, I'm sure, for Ken. Maybe not so satisfying finish for the 86 car, Mark Dillon Jr. Yeah, he was running up front there with the leaders and kind of faded away there at the end. Finishing 9th, and Steve Weber, who led laps, was looking good. Got into a couple little scrapes there, and he will take a top 10 home in 10th place, and followed quickly in 11th place by the 9 car Ken Hansen. So those two battling for Winston Cup points there, finishing just one position away from each other, and I believe they both led laps. So looks like a stalemate between the 83 and the 9. And then the rest of our cars out of the race, led by the 12th position Jim Scharf all the way down to, unfortunately, the 62 car Sean Reap finishing in 23rd. So a great race, some great action, some
Wow.
big time accidents, and Mark DeSenza, you know, was there in the beginning, he was there in the middle, and he was certainly there in the end, and that was the one constant of this race, Milty, was Mark DeSenza.
Yeah, he was the car of the beat. Race this guy on this track. Many different versions. Not basically the original version, but it's still about getting around the field. Got behind there and had to struggle a little, but very long because he just mowed the grass with these guys, really.
Yeah, and let's see if you can grab our top 3. Mark DeSenza, that I see, is down in his team channel getting some congrats from his teammates. Looks like he'll be joining us very shortly. Also, Dog from Thor Dog Racing will be up here joining us momentarily. And hopefully we can get our teammate up here, the 28 car, Ed Kurtstetter, with a solid 2nd place finish. And while that's being done, let's see if we can get to the points here. see if we can bring up the updated points if they've been updated. Takes a few minutes for our admins to police up the race and post the results, so we can't expect full on things, but we do see from the before the race, Steve Weber was enjoying a 34-point lead over Ken Hansen, and they finished 10th and 11th. So Weber will continue to enjoy his lead. Ed finishing second, though, just a point out of second, will take over that second position now from Ken Hansen. So Ed up to second, Ken back to third. Rick with a solid finish. He'll probably hold on to his fourth position there. And there's Mark Dillon Jr. Dog will also maybe move up his position. Dog looking for a top 5 in the Winston Cup points. And looks like the guys are slowly rolling into the booth here. We got our winner of the race is now joining us, Mark DeSenza. Mark, I was telling Milty right before you came up, one constant in this race was you. You had a solid start. You were there in the middle of the race when we had a rash of cautions, and then at the end there, you held off a really game 28 car there, Mark. So congratulations, great win.
Yeah, it made me earn that one. A little traffic there, cars out of town, beat lap at the end. I knew we were going to be really tricky, and for a while there, didn't know what to do, and then they finally kind of let me by. But yeah, I knew Ed's going to be right there. I had 2 to go there. I hit the apron just a little bit, and Ed came in a corner hard and just backed off, not to get into me, and then I think it messed him up after that. So sorry about that, but it was a fun race. He kept me on my toes. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was a solid race, man. I really at the end there when you got back there about P5, I was like, okay, what's he gonna do now? But I raced against you for a long time, and variance differences of this track, but you've always been a friggin' stud here in whatever league you've run in, and you didn't disappoint. 28 was coming there, but you out of it there. He got pretty close to you, but he tried to make his move, and but he raced you clean. It suffered for him, but it was good TV. But you were the stud of the field there. Great job, Mark, as usual.
Thanks, Milty. Yeah, I knew Ed would. He wasn't going to do anything stupid or crazy. If he was going to pass me, he was going to pass me clean. And like I said, I hit the apron there with about 2 to go, and he probably could have got into me there, but he backed off and kind of had a bad corner after that. But no, I know.
Yeah, yeah, we were watching him in car there, following you, and at the end there, and it's pretty much how it went. Worked his way up and finally had a shot at you, but being that you were you had so much momentum and stuff, he wasn't going to do that, and so it was a fine win, another great win for the 6 car, and
Yeah, it certainly
great
was.
job moving
It
forward.
certainly was. And Ed, uh, decent start to the race. Kind of went away in the middle of the race. Was that the plan? Because were you in tire saving mode when we had that long green run there?
Yeah, I was expecting longer green runs in the beginning there. So I was kind of playing the tire strategy game. I did a whole run in practice and realized that the tires really fell off a cliff after like 20 laps. So I was just kind of riding in the middle there, biding time, and then I kind of messed up though. I let Mark get too far up front before that last caution, and the last caution kind of definitely saved me for sure. And then yeah, there at the end, tried saving tires a little bit too, and then Darlington's such a momentum track, so I was trying to time it where I'd get a run on the front stretch, and I just got loose coming off of 4, and then I still had a chance, but then I tried downshifting the next time in 3 and 4 and got almost into the wall again, and that sealed the deal.
Yeah,
But
we saw that. Yeah, by then it was like you're kind of it was desperation time there, but great show and also great clean driving. You could have put the 6 in the wall right there, and but you didn't have a door on them, and uh, that was great stuff.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Good solid finish for what you had. Good job.
Absolutely, Milty. And maybe the drive of the race, though, Milty, it's got to go to the 108 car. Dog,
Yeah, I think so,
Dog,
man.
Good job
a little
there,
down,
Palmer, good job.
yeah, a little down and out
P3,
early in
dog.
that race. Milty had some contact with the teammate. I'm sure that was weighing in on him, and he put that all aside and was only one of 3 cars finishing on the lead lap at Darlington. That's a big time feather in the cap, Dog. Great run.
Well, thank you very much, Greg. First of all, I would like to say it's an honor to be up here in the booth with Mark and Ed and you two. And I always did want to see Milt's Budweiser vending machine. And yeah, I overcame a lot of diversity. I was racing the track more than anything. And that last caution was a good opportunity, because my fuel light was on and I was just going to pit and it come out. So I said, oh, I'm going to go around. So as soon as I went across the line, I pushed in the clutch and I had enough to get to my pits. And then I came out, and them last laps, 20 laps, something like that, were the longest of my life.
Well,
I hear you.
You put together a great team through your fellowship and the attraction and your dedication to sim racing and your work ethic and to get a top 3 on TV here Friday night. That's just fantastic to see. You've already accomplished some stuff here personally, but now with your team and stuff moving forward, you got a couple guys in the mix here, but think you can get Isaac up there to the front there, but here we are. We're talking to John instead of some of the studs you have in your team there. So fantastic finish for you as a team owner and also as a driver. You put the mustard to the mayo, man.
Well, thank you, Milt. I have a great team. I really enjoy my team. I have a lot of good guys on there. We have good friendship, and I'm proud of them, especially Isaac. And I would like to thank the sponsors. It's Stallman's Bear Creek, right?
Yeah, he was on the broadcast tonight, so he jumped in there and broadcast the end of the race. So that was really cool for Chad to do that, and of course we absolutely
Like you multitasking there, Milty.
Yeah, I hear that.
Click.
Budweiser and talking. I didn't know you could watch and chew gum at the same time, bud. That's impressive stuff.
He's got that vending machine working so hard, there's smoke coming out of
driving,
it.
So
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it probably is a good thing. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Got some good footage here, and we're gonna put it up there for everyone. And appreciate you spending the time with us. And again, Mark, congratulations on a great win. Ed, solid run. And Dog, like I said, maybe you got the drive of the race tonight, and great finish here at Darlington. And Milty, as always, it's an adventure.
Well, it's my privilege. I start the trouble, but usually I can't.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Congratulations, and we'll see you hopefully at the next week. And don't know where we'll be at, but it'll be a good race.
And 4. Thanks, guys. Good race, everyone. Palmer, good job, man.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah, great job, Tom.
It was close.
Milt, Mark,
I'm
Greg.
glad it ended when it ended.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll be watching the broadcast after Twitch TV.